When we practice meditation, even if sometimes we fall asleep, feel drowsy or distracted, never mind. Practice regularly. Practice yourself regularly, and do not let anything become an excuse, a reason, or a condition for training the mind to stop. As time passes, your mind will become familiar with the center of the body at the seventh base. It will become familiar with the center of the abdomen. Even if the mind stops for only 1 minute, it is worth it to start. That 1 minute allows us to experience the state of inner peace, and when we experience it, we will start to like it. That 1 minute of true peace makes a huge difference, like the sky and the ground compared to a mind without peace. The body feels light. The mind feels light. We may feel as if the body is expanding, widening, and happy. The first minute of true peace will never be forgotten. It feels so worth it. It is like we have received a valuable reward from our effort in meditation, the reward given to those who are diligent and consistent, without letting obstacles hinder our efforts, until we reach the true goal of life, that is to discover the triple gem within us, to find the true inner refuge, to find true happiness. This is the beginning of liberation from defilements. To be free from being a slave to Mara, when the mind stops for just 1 minute, and if within that minute we see the light within, that means our mind is completely calm. The light within is the purity of the mind, free from defilements, free from the 5 nivara, which is the darkness within the mind. Just a glimpse of that light can create immense merit. This merit is greater than the merit gained from donating vast sums of money to build temples, monasteries, or monasteries. But these merits are different. But in comparison, the inner merit is greater because it is the beginning of the path to nirvana. This 1 minute experience is what I wish everyone could experience and perceive. To understand the phrase, Nathi Santi Prang Sukhang, which means there is no happiness greater than peace. It is an indescribable happiness. It is a happiness that cannot be achieved through wealth, status, or praise. It is a happiness that human language cannot fully describe because human words are limited. So to understand this, you must experience it for a minute. That minute will become the driving force that pulls you back to meditation again and again. Initially, you may have to push yourself, be patient, and practice meditation consistently because you know that it is a good thing. You will gain merit, peace of mind, and an important step towards attaining the path, the fruit of attainment, and nirvana. But when your mind is truly calm, you will naturally feel a desire to practice meditation. You will yearn for that feeling again. You will desire that experience to last longer. This will make you diligent, willing to practice meditation with joy. That is why meditation is done correctly, and consistency and diligence are crucial. Therefore, everyone should regularly review their meditation practice. Are you practicing meditation correctly every day? Is your mind in the right state of concentration? Are you practicing intentionally? Are you mindful? Do you feel at ease? Are you practicing what is known as mindfulness regularly and consistently? We must regularly observe and adjust ourselves as we go. Keep practicing continuously. Each time we meditate, we need to refine our state of mind. And if we add the practice of stillness in other postures, such as standing, walking, running, lying down, it helps us become even more familiar with the center of the body. Train yourself to gently touch the seventh base with your attention softly, lightly, and comfortably. Don't force your mind. Don't push heavily inward. Just lightly rest the mind there again and again. If you open your eyes or find yourself outside of sitting meditation, I recommend visualizing either a clear crystal sphere, a clear Buddha image, or an image of Luang Por Dhammajayo, any one of these. This practice can and should be done anywhere, even in the restroom, even during urination or defecation. Don't worry that doing this is wrong or sinful. On the contrary, it's meritorious, because you are not letting your time slip away wastefully. Time in the human world is incredibly precious. Our time here is limited, and the time when our bodies are strong and healthy is even more so. That's why we should practice all the time, in all places. Practice alongside your daily tasks. Whatever your occupation, whatever duties you have, train the mind to remain at the seventh base, just like breathing in and out alongside all other daily activities. As we cannot live without breathing, we should not live without this kind of inner training either. As we train regularly, what once seemed difficult will gradually become easier. What was once dark will begin to brighten. When we first start, we must accept that we're just ordinary human beings, no different from fellow practitioners on the same path. They stumble and rise just as we do. Sometimes we sleep, sometimes we wake, sometimes we're distracted, in darkness, or feeling discomfort. Sometimes we get discouraged. Other times we feel inspired. We may complain or feel disheartened, but keep practicing, keep doing it every day. In daily life, try to maintain a clear, peaceful, joyful state of mind, a calm and pleasant mood that continues without break. If you do this, the mind will gradually become brighter and clearer, from darkness to light, from blur to sharpness. You should remember and reflect on the simple method you've learned, a method that's often overlooked. When I tell you, if there's something to see, just watch. Do so. Look at whatever appears next without thinking. Whether it's darkness, the shape of a person, animal, object, mountain, or tree, look without thinking, without showing any emotion. Look with ease and neutrality. And when the mind is calm, and the pure, clear Buddha image begins to appear, don't question it. Don't ask, am I imagining it? Is it real? If it appears, continue look. At first, the image may not possess all the characteristics of Mahapurisa or a great man, but when it appears fully, you will understand for yourself. No questions will arise. If the Buddha image you see continues to question you, it means that the characteristics of Mahapurisa or a great man are not yet complete. It may resemble a familiar image or an image you worship, but regardless of its form, your duty is to continuously look. If the image appears, that is already a great merit. There is no need to consider whether it is real. All you have to do is look calmly. Eventually, the image will naturally adjust itself until it reveals the complete and perfect nature of the Mahapurisa, or true great man. And at that point, your doubts will disappear. As the Buddha himself saw it, when he first clearly saw the image, he exclaimed, "O Buddha, oh, this is the Buddha within. Oh, this is the true self." So, watch your inner experiences as they develop with a calm and natural mind. Befriend every experience that arises, whether it is distraction, darkness, unease, or drowsiness. Whether you see this image or that image, or even nothing at all, or see something but nothing new occurs, befriend every experience. Your duty is to look gently and calmly, like an astronomer looking at the stars through a telescope. Keep looking. Eventually, miracles will happen. The moment of enlightenment will occur, and inner doubts will dissipate. Everyone has merit. If you didn't have the merit, you wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have heard or learned about Dhammakaya. You wouldn't have faith or determination to practice. But even with a lot of merit, practicing still requires effort and perseverance. And don't compare yourself to others who may have arrived later than you, but seem to progress faster than you. Even if you are the one who led them on this path, and they achieved their goal before you, there is a reason for this. They trained a lot in their past lives. So when they train in the present, it is normal that when their minds are in the right state, they will be able to reach it. For us who are harder to reach than them, there is also a reason, because in our past lives we trained less than them. So, let their success inspire us, a lesson for us to be diligent and patient, to follow the right path. Soon we will succeed. Thinking like this will refresh our hearts and give us the energy to move forward. Don't ignore the advice to not be too stressed. Sometimes we stress too much because we know that what we are seeking is valuable and real, but our stress prevents us from achieving success. Desire is not inherently bad, but don't let it happen during practice. In practice, we aim for calmness and coolness. Whether darkness or light arises within, our duty is to be calm, cool, neutral, look gently, relax, and feel joyful. That's it. If we do this, we will soon become a superhuman being. We will be amazed at what lies within us. We will feel proud and self-respecting that we can remain still until the light within us appears. When we see through that light, we will see the Dharma spheres appearing in layers, until we reach the body within the body, which is the subtle human body, the divine body, the Brahma body, and finally, the Dhammakaya. The Buddha illuminating within the body is the Dhammakaya. It is even more amazing when we reach the Dhammakaya, because Vijja, or inner knowledge of Buddhism, will arise for us to study. When we reach the Dhammakaya, we will reach the Dhamma eye, vision, Yanathasana, Vijja, light. All of these occur simultaneously. At that point, we will be able to study the Dharma more deeply. We will study with the Dhammakaya. This is called Vijja Dhammakaya. Vijja Dhammakaya can only be studied with the Dhammakaya. Other bodies do not have the Dhamma-eye or Yanathasana. Therefore, they cannot be studied at this point. At this point, it becomes even more miraculous. That sense of wonder grows each time we quiet our minds and reach within. Our doubts gradually disappear. Every time we pause and enter within, a new understanding arises. This understanding answers our inner questions, dispels our doubts, and gradually purifies our mind. The mind becomes purer, clearer, and purer. The purpose of meditation is to calm the mind, to purify it, to discover true happiness, and to achieve enlightenment. We aim to abandon greed, anger, delusion, ego, or any notion of superiority. As the mind becomes purified, happiness increases. This kind of happiness is constantly growing and never static. This inner happiness is different from worldly happiness, which often begins with excitement but gradually fades until we lose interest in it altogether. Worldly happiness is limited, narrow, and eventually becomes uncomfortable. For example, when we buy a new car, we may feel excited, but then we have to bear the burden of maintaining it. The car gradually deteriorates, just like the happiness we have in it. Eventually, we want to replace it, but inner happiness is different. It's like a multi-layered lunchbox. When we open the first layer, it's already delicious, but as we peel off the layers, the next layer becomes even more delicious. There's always something greater and greater happiness, deeper peace, and greater clarity. And as this continues, the mind becomes calm and stable. The mind enters into direct enlightenment knowledge that arises from inner vision. This is different from what we are accustomed to knowledge gained through listening, reading, writing, speaking, or thinking. These methods may lead us to partial truths, but they can also lead us to error because they rely on things we cannot directly see. But once we begin to see clearly within, we know clearly. This kind of knowledge makes life safer. We come to understand the law of karma directly. We see the reality of karma at work. We also see the world within the world, a world not limited to humans and animals, but including unseen realms our physical eyes cannot detect. We begin to perceive more refined bodies, known as thip subtle forms. From not knowing, we become one who knows, knowing more and more, because we see more and more clearly. We realize that not only are there various kinds of human and animal forms, but also other life forms with subtle bodies, such as those in Bhuma Deva, the closest inner realm to ours. We begin to understand and perceive the world of Bhuma Deva. Why did our ancestors leave behind words like Bhuma Deva, Rukha Deva, Agasa Deva, Nak, Yak, Kondan, Krut, Phi, Sang, Nang Mai, Phut, Phi, Pisaj, because each refers to something distinct, though they sound poetic and rhythmic. to make them easier to remember. One day, when we reach these states, we will understand. Our ancestors left us these rhyming verses not because the beings are the same, but to help future generations remember and study them more easily. For example, foot is one kind, fi is another, pisaj is yet another, but when spoken, they sound like one phrase. Foot, fi, pisaj, or terms like rack sewed and fi sure, where fi sure does not mean butterfly as in common language, but refers to a refined or subtle body form. Beyond what has been mentioned, there are still many other beings, fellow creatures bound by suffering, birth, aging, illness, and death, that cannot be seen by human eyes or by mangsa yaksu, biological vision. As we see more, our understanding expands. When we see these beings and the realms they dwell in, we begin to know clearly what they are called, how they came to be, that they were once human too, and because of their karma, they now exist in these forms. We understand the realm they inhabit, their post-death existence, and how life continues beyond death. As this knowledge gradually arises, we gain the ability to choose where we want to go and where we should avoid. We see clearly that Abhaya Phum is not a realm we should dwell in. We clearly see that Abhaya Phum is not a place we should be in, but we can go and see. Instead, the realm we should aim for is Sukhati Phap, a realm of happiness, even for those who still have defilements. This kind of happiness is far beyond anything in the human world, and once we understand this, we also gain insight into how to reach those realms and which paths lead us there. When is the mind clouded or clear? What clouded the mind? What clarified the mind? This knowledge comes from enlightenment. If the mind is deeply refined, it will immediately and completely perceive the truth. If it is not deeply refined enough, understanding will gradually unfold, doubts will gradually fade, and profound clarity will gradually increase. Ultimately, we will understand why we choose to reside in Dusit Heaven, the fourth of the sixth heavens. Although the fifth heaven, Nimanarati, and the sixth heaven, Paranimitavasavati, are exalted and filled with pure bliss and prosperity, why do we not choose those higher heavens? Or why do we not desire the purer and more blissful Rupa Brahmas, or even the purer and more pure Arupa Brahmas? Why do we not choose to reside in those realms? We understand these questions clearly because we have seen enlightenment. When we see enlightenment, we become enlightened. That's why cultivating a calm mind is so worthwhile. It transforms us into wonderful human beings, possessing deeper purity, happiness, and wisdom. And because it's so valuable, it's worth our effort and perseverance. We are fortunate not to have to discover this method ourselves. Luang Por Dhammajayo has already discovered it and passed it on to us. All we need to do is practice his teachings. This makes the practice much easier. We don't have to sacrifice our lives as he did. Such knowledge cannot be bought, even with billions of dollars in wealth. It's unlike scientific knowledge, which requires enormous resources to prove a single theory. But this wealth cannot buy inner enlightenment. We must do it ourselves. No one can do it for us. Therefore, the proverb, Atahi atano natho, or we are our own refuge, is always true. Such enlightenment cannot be inherited or transmitted. Even if someone explains it to us, we may only understand some of it, but not all of it, because we are merely listeners. Only direct experience can truly dispel doubts. Therefore, we must do it ourselves. This miraculous knowledge of being human is not limited to educational background. Even someone with only a 4th grade education can attain it. It doesn't matter whether you're thin or fat, handsome or average, rich or poor, or your race, religion, or ethnicity. Every human being has a body, mind, and is centered on the 7th base. If you practice simply calming your mind gently and without stress, as mentioned above, you will achieve success. Simply sit in the cross-legged position, gently close your eyes, and focus your mind on your abdomen. And when you do this, you will be more than 1,000,000% certain of attaining the Dhammakaya within. When you do this, you will become a mystical being, indescribable, able to study all beings and things. This is the essence of knowledge, the root and the trunk, not just branches or fragments. It is not a sub-discipline of any discipline, but the entire discipline that elevates the mind. Your mind will be pure, bright, peaceful, and pure. You will be admired by those with a thick body. Deities will be watching you constantly. You will always be under the gaze of the deities. Whenever you gently close your eyes and your mind remains within, according to this principle, you will be seen and admired by the deities. Therefore, what you are doing is not trivial or trivial, but sublime and beautiful. Therefore, for the remainder of this time, you all should continue to train your minds to be calm, comfortable, gentle, and continuous until the appropriate time.